What's up, y'all? This is Durag Rico, and I've been seeing the news on the updates to that Xbox Game Pass. I've been seeing people going crazy, the comments getting extra toxic, and even some of y'all's loyal creators out here going off like this is the last straw, how it's another strike against Xbox. This has inspired me to make this video right here where we're going to talk about 5 reasons for the downfall of Xbox as a console. Y'all feel free to put your own personal reasons in the comments below, or if you think that I'm bullshitting, tell me why. First things first, let's get the obvious out of the way. The changes to the Game Pass. I'll just do it like this. You could go to the website to look up the details and stuff if you want to. But the Game Pass has went from having the ultimate tier being at $19.99 to a new price of $29.99. Me personally, when I see this, it starts getting very iffy because you have access to so much. It says you got access to 400 games. This type of marketing approach reminds me of the Netflix or the TV streaming service model. And what that also tells me is that Xbox is aiming at building up subscribers with access to games rather than giving us games that make us want to own an Xbox. I don't need access to 400 games. The next reason is when they decided to focus on other things besides games. I remember when that Xbox One was about to drop and they had that presentation focusing on the Kinect and things like Xbox TV. One of the big things about this presentation that caused upset was the fact that you were gonna have to be online 24/7. This meant that anybody that likes sitting back playing single player games would have to be connected online or have an internet connection, and people were told that the Kinect was going to have to be on at all times, recording you, your voice, your movements, all in front of the TV at the same time. And to put the cherry on top, with these extra peripherals that came with your console that was mandatory, it obviously made that price go up at the time. They walked this back and they retracted and discontinued the Xbox Kinect. But whenever I saw that presentation, I was looking for the games and it seemed like they were focusing on other things elsewhere. The next reason I'm going to talk about, y'all feel free to call me petty. Somebody hop in the comments if you can relate, or if you disagree, feel free to hop into the comments too. But the name of the console matters so much to the legacy. If you look at Sony, that PlayStation, every single number has a legendary connotation whenever you speak of it. People always talk about the eras, the PS2 era, the PS4 era, the PS5 got so many memes that's attached to it that it's a legendary moment just off the memes. Then if you go to Nintendo came through with the basic Nintendo, the NES, then the Super Nintendo. Next thing you know, they start coming with legendary features like the Switch, the Wii. The fact that sometimes whenever you have the names, you're gonna see it either on appearance or with an ability that the console can do. That GameCube really was a cube. Even that first Xbox really was an extreme looking box. But when you go to Xbox Series S and Series X, I don't hear nobody making memes on that. I don't hear people making a nickname for those consoles. I thought they were gonna go with the Sony with the incremental number method with the Xbox One, but then when they start coming with the Series X and the Series S, I didn't know what to think of that. I didn't know what to make of that. Those names aren't doing anything to help out, and by the way it's looking, they're gonna mess around and be the last console that Xbox is gonna step forward with. The next reason, the exclusives that Xbox has recently been trying to put out have not been having the impact of past exclusives from Xbox, and especially the other competing consoles in the market right now. When you look around and you see Sony with sequels that are still going strong like God of War or The Last of Us Part 2, and even when you go to the new things that are being talked about like the Wolverine game by Insomniac or Intergalactic, Naughty Dog's next series, Then when you swing to the Nintendo side of things, of course we're gonna still get sequels involving some of the most legendary icons in gaming history, whether we're talking about Link, Donkey Kong, Mario, or games where we have entire ensemble casts of characters duking it out, racing, or just doing party activities. They're still having big impacts whenever they reveal these games, and these games have been hitting on the release date, smashing up the industry, tearing up the message boards with controversies, praise, and everything in between. And then we come over to the Microsoft side. Whenever you used to think of Xbox, names like Halo and Gears of War used to make the entire industry ring out. You would see green everywhere, especially when you go to your local store. You would see marketing all over the place, all over your favorite beverages, all over your favorite gas stations. But now, after a lot of sequels that have burnt out some series, and even some games that were meant to be hyped up like Starfield, but they missed on release, these types of things leave a bad taste in my mouth when I think of a reason to go and buy an Xbox. If y'all still up in here, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the vibes, and then make sure you put that notification button on so whenever I post what's next, it'll pop up like a text. And then we're about to get on to the last reason in this video of why Xbox has fell off as a console. Alright, this last reason is personal. I remember once upon a time I made this post in Reddit, in the gaming subreddit. I said that we are in for a repeat of history. It seems like Xbox is about to go through the same thing that Sega went through with the Dreamcast. Soon there was a war in the comments and the downvotes started coming in pretty strong. Despite the fact that I was simply trying to say that I would like to see old Xbox exclusives going to other consoles. I was basically getting jumped talking about that the eras are different, that Sega was bankrupt, that I was on the pipe because my point didn't make sense. I came to the conclusion that a lot of people are in denial of what's going on with Xbox, because as I make this video, I have Gears of War Reloaded downloaded onto my PlayStation 5. Even when I look at what Xbox has been trying to do over the last few years, to me, honestly, I think they've been transitioning into the services and subscription business. My guess is that in the future, we're gonna see an Xbox app pop up on our game consoles, and we're gonna be able to access a library full of games off of the Xbox app. Then many of these games that were formerly going to be Xbox exclusives are gonna be published by Xbox Game Studios, and they're gonna be accessible on these former consoles that used to be competition. But that's just my guess. That's my 5 reasons why Xbox has fell off as a console. I'm not a hater at Xbox. I love Xbox. The Xbox 360 was the first time I ever experienced nice online gaming, when I had the friend requests, messaging people back and forth, getting hate mail for smoking people on Gears of War with that shotgun one too many times. Seeing those Halo trailers back in the day used to make my eyes water a little bit because of the pure greatness coming off of the screen at the time. Even back in the day when Soul Calibur had exclusive characters for every port of the game, when they had Spawn as the exclusive on Xbox, when they had Heihachi on the PlayStation, and when they had Link on the GameCube. Those were beautiful times. That makes me want to talk about this console stuff a little bit more. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and like to keep this shit flowing through the algorithm. I'm a fan of the gaming culture. That means that I can say stuff without worrying about affiliations and business obligations. This stuff that I'm saying is unrehearsed and from the heart. A big part of my gaming channel is acknowledging the gaming culture, the history of it, the good, bad, and the ugly, embracing the present of what's going on, expressing my hopes for the future, my predictions for the future. My eyes are red from editing this video over the last few days. They're irritated from the context. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I need to go get me some rest. Y'all like and subscribe, and whenever I post something next, it'll pop up like a text if you put those notifications on. Y'all be safe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.